Hello, everyone. This is going to actually be my first episode of a series that I've created called I Want to Talk About This. Because, Zero Effort Game Reviews, I'm not a reviewer. I don't really want to fucking review games, but I want to talk about shit. And I'm actually fucking mad. Like, really mad right now. For all the wrong reasons. So, to give you context, Melcurios, the guy from my stream, made like a suggestion called Battle Realms because I was playing Total War and I'm like, bro, like it's just like, oh yeah, should I play Battle Realms or Age of Mythology? It's like Age of Mythology. What the fuck's Battle Realms? And he talked about this and he said to me, this was the Warcraft 3 killer. That Blizzard withheld their like Warcraft 3 for 6 months because they were that afraid of Battle Realms. This introduction into the fucking like game sphere. I have never heard of this game. I've heard of Command and Conquer, Empire, Age of Empires, Civ. I played a lot of RTSs in my time. This game has never shown up on any top 100 list ever that I have read from. And I've gone through a lot. So I was just like, how bad is it? So, thus, this rant that I'm going to go on, because I never get this pissed off unless the product is actually really fucking good. And it's just a few amount of fuck ups that absolutely fucking destroy the product. All right. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about shit. So I've got this huge thing, and I'll alternate between things. Okay. Just face. Let's go. Nope. That's not how we do it. We're going one take. We're going one take here. I'm going fucking hard, boys. So this is an RTS, right? So functionally, I don't really know where to start. This is one of those games where you collect two resources, rice and water, because it's very Asian, like Chinese, Japanese, with like high fantasy themes in it. And honestly, the campaign, from what I have seen, other people like I've played up to a little bit, but I couldn't play further because of how terribly fucking balanced this shit is. But it's oh my god, I don't even know what to fucking start about this. Okay. Battle Realms is basically, has Asian themes and like Japanese, Chinese, and they're fighting over fucking lands and clans and like revenge and all this sort of shit, right? And there's a little bit of a branch path between the campaigns, and then there is a kind of a competitive mode. This game came out in 2001. I have played Battle Realms Zen Edition, which is a remastered or technically remastered edition that came out in 2019, and the developers said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna like make this and like make it more compatible and understandable and user friendly." It's 2022. It's 3 years. It's still in early access. They basically hypothesized it's 1 year. And at first, I was like, oh, okay. There's a lot of shit in this game that is so absolutely fucking terribly managed that honestly, this game should never fucking see the light of day. But there's so many fucking good ideas in this game that's also painful to see how mismanaged this product is. Like, holy shit. Okay, so, really one step back. Most RTS is basically you get the fucking command center, workers come out, and you collect two to whatever fucking how many resources, right? You're macroing, manning, like for StarCraft, minerals, Vespene gas, and your supply. Warcraft, it's gold, wood, and then fucking supply. Like 2 to 3 is usually pretty standard. Some games go up to 4 to 5, like depending on how difficult they are. Like Civ, like they go up to 6, 7, like blah, 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 multiple resources to fucking handle. This game has a really unique way of like handling resources. And I think that the only reason why nobody fucking utilizes, like, stole or used the ideas from this game is because it was so buried that no one knew this fucking game existed, apparently. So, you have this peasant hut. You can build as many as you want. Go into another fucking fact about this later that I'm really pissed off about. But this peasant hut continuously produces peasant units. And you don't have to feed it anything more. The catch is that when you have low food count, and the food count usually capped to like 3 to 30 to like 40, depending on like what game size you're doing, it'll pump out peasants really quickly at the beginning, but it'll slow it down as you're getting further. And then using these peasants, you harvest your rice and you harvest your water. and then you put the peasants into like each faction. There's 4 factions, and they're all really unique, like Warcraft 3 level unique. And I don't say that like lightly. Most games, when you play different factions, they all play the exact same. The core of all the 4 factions are relatively similar, but the flavor on each of them and how they function is so good that honestly, I say, and I emphasize, 4 unique factions. They did this shit really well. Or at least the 2001 team did this shit really well. So, going back into it, you basically, there's like 3 to 4 different sort of buildings. But normally how a like RTS would handle it is that you put like this building would start producing units based off minerals, gas, or whatever extra resources supply, right? This game doesn't have it. There's no supply depots or anything like that, or overloads or pylons or whatever. You just put your peasant into it. After a while, it pops out a unit. So for a dojo, it pops out a spearman. That should be the end, right? But these 4 facilities, you can put this spearman, you can't put it back into the dojo, but you can put him into the archery range, you can put him into an alchemist den, or you can put him into like, what was it? Not the geisha thing, but that comes down. But you can put it, like, hypothetically, you put him into the archery thing, right? It transforms him to a dragon warrior. Put that dragon warrior into like the alchemy den, because he hasn't gone into that type of training, he transforms into a samurai. So, one unit from tier 1 can mix match depending on the tier of the like building, transform into a tier 2 to tier 3 unit. That's a really cool concept. Not to mention how you can like like the sort of like combinations of units that you can make are really, really cool. This mechanic is one of the dopest fucking things I have seen in a long time. Also, each of these units have different like attack types, like fire, magic, blunt, pierce, cut, and something explosive. So there's 6 types, and each unit will have like multiple different types that it's effective against, and multiple different types that it's weak against, while it has one type that it capitalizes on. And then on top of this, there are certain buildings that you can actually send these users up to so that they can get new abilities or new battle gear and shit like that that amps their fucking ability up. AKA, for like a samurai, there's like this ability that you can go put onto yourself, which is a blood blade. So you can apply this blood so you don't receive any damage, but the person that you apply the blood blade fucking onto, your friendly unit. So like, let's say like melees are fighting, range people are attacking. The samurai will apply his blood blade, whatever the fuck, onto like the range units because he's not supposed to be taking damage, right? So he's taking no damage. The range unit's taking damage while he's full fucking face tanking that shit. That is a cool fucking mechanic. Or he can transform this other thing. Like he can go into another building which will transform his blade into like a magical blade, so it does magical damage instead of like slashing damage. But it uses his stamina, which is a different mechanic. Where in this game they don't have mana, they have stamina. So they use stamina to run. And they also use stamina to basically use their abilities. So, but when your stamina becomes depleted, you can't actually like use your abilities or like run, and you become exhausted and you can only move. This, I don't know how I feel about it because it's both really cool and terribly fucking balanced. And I'm actually gonna talk. I think I have a fucking strong argument about this. So this is the fucking setting, right? Of like, you know? There's like, it's an RTS game with a really unique alchemy mechanic. Like they call it the alchemy mechanic, where the units go into different sort of buildings and come out like different type of units. And then you can get different types of battle gear to amp up these units. And this is how much I understood from the initial playthrough. Now, I have a lot of shit that I'm fucking pissed off about, as you could probably tell with my demeanor. But I want to start off with the shit that I really, really fucking like. Okay? 1. The animations look dope. And they're so full of life and flavor. And they are so unique as well. They have unique interactions with different things. Like if you walk, like even the environment has unique fucking environments. You run into the water, fish run away. You run through the trees, birds fly away. If you walk, they don't move. you run towards horses, they fucking run away. Which actually, I'll step back. I'll be talking about this actually, regardless. So yeah, and like units like the spearman will do this, and occasionally I don't know why he'll like stab his fucking spear and do the little like the Bruce Lee kickable. He'll do this shit. That's so cool. Or you'll have the sumo cannons. Like once again, like some of the unit designs in this game is so fucking good. Where it's just a sumo dude with a cannon, and he launches it, and when he's idle, he just flips it onto his head. He's like a bucket head. Does a dance. It's fucking great. Samurai will pretend to seppuku themselves. There's so much, like, I don't know, haggis? So much flavor, so much love that has gone into the unit designs. You can tell the developers really thought about this and love that aspect of it. And I feel it and I appreciated it. And this mixed with the vibe and the feeling of each of the individual factions. Dragon all about being noble and honorable and like very like Japanese like samurai style, and then the serpent, which are basically fallen Japanese soldiers or whatever. So instead of like going into a dojo to learn to be a soldier, they go into the tavern. Like the flavor text, like, or like the archery range is instead of the archery range, they actually I forgot what they did. I speed ran through each of the games. I played like this game for like 13 hours, but I just really wanted to fucking talk about it. And it like the geishas, like the geishas are basically you put your peasants into like this hot springs bath place for the dragon clan. They come out as geishas, and geishas are healers. But for the serpent clan, which is basically polar opposite of the dragon clan, but the same flavor, the same entity, different flavor. It's functionally a whorehouse. And it's like hot or like hot geisha, all that sort of stuff, and they use their blades and stuff like that, but they still serve the same purpose. This is great fucking flavor, and this is a great world building. I love that stuff. Wolf Clan apparently were like a bunch of like people, like beast people, like, you know, very barbaric sort of like people. Like I think they're basically northern Chinese. Like I think to some degree like the Mongolians, I think is the inspiration for these guys, but less when they were actually like properly militarized. And they were used as slaves, and then they got out and united and fucking like broke out. And the Lotus Clan, weirdly enough, it's just dark magic. They're functionally undead. They both don't fit in the game, but also fit in the game, which I find to be odd. But I kind of dig it. And they have a lot of things where they just kill their own units. Hence, they're basically the undead of Battle Realms. And I have a very strong feeling that they're gonna be my favorite fucking faction. If not, it's probably the Serpent faction. But yeah, I could go into huge amounts of details of each of the individual units that I love, the individual animations that I grew to love, their attacks, like the skills, all this shit. Fucking love. And also, there is apparently a guide that I actually recently like looked up that came with the 2001 like issue, and it just basically goes into details, all this flavor text about each of the units. You remember back in the day, if you're like above 20, when you like bought the StarCraft battle chest, or the Warcraft like 3 chest, and it came with the manuals, and you just would read all day about all the like units and stuff like that. That stuff was fucking sick ass, right? And you love that shit, right? I love that shit. This game has it. They didn't fucking include it for the Zen edition. We're gonna get to that shit soon. Campaign, from the small amounts that I have actually played and actually watched, it's not good. But it's like the early 2000s corny. Like if you've played the Age of Mythology like campaign, you know where it's just like it's so bad that it's kind of endearing. That's this campaign. It's like that mixed with anime. The storyline of the campaign is just a fun romp from the small clips that I've watched. Now the voice acting is amazing. Like, if someone actually showed me clips of the voice acting for each of the individual units, I would. And they said this game was for like a unreleased game from Blizzard back in the day when Blizzard used to not be a complete fucking whorehouse. Yeah, I believe him in a heartbeat. The voice acting is that good. Like it's like StarCraft and Warcraft 3 level fucking polished. Voice acting within RTSs is really important, and if it's done poorly, you notice it immediately. This game nailed it. It's really fucking good. I loved it. Also, the sound design is great. Like, you feel like you're in actual battle. The clashing of the swords, the booming of cannons, and the shooting of archers, and like magic and fire going around. Holy crap. The sound, whoever like actually worked on the sound design for this shit fucking deserves rewards. Oh, also, like, this is another thing. When I was talking about the stamina mechanic running, if your unit goes down to red, so it's like wounded, it actually has a unique animation that plays where it limps. It can still attack. It can recharge its HP. Actually, I'll go into that in detail a little bit later because that's a little bit of a train of thought. But it can when it loses HP down to red, it just shows a limping animation. And even if you want to make the unit run, it won't because it's too injured. So you have to keep it stationary. So once it's stationary, its stamina bar like recharges to full, and once the stamina bar recharges to full, its HP like recharges to full. Or like not full. Certain clans can recharge to full. I think the Wolf clan can, but like most clans will only charge up to like 75 to 80%. That's a cool ass mechanic. Also, this is a tough one. The yin and yang mechanic. There's a thing called a yin and yang mechanic. Now, the reason why I'm fucking pissed off about this is because, as I will explain while I'm complaining about shit, this game has one of the most terrible fucking UIs, tutorials, no tooltips, half-ass hotkey. Absolute fucking terrible excuse of a modern day remake of an RTS. No excuses. The developers actually just you should feel bad. Actually feel bad. Like this is disgusting. All of the good in this game is buried under a mountain pile of dog shit that they clearly have no fucking clue how to fucking or even care. This is the part that's pissing me off. Okay, so the original developers created this thing called the yin yang mechanic, right? So because of like how peasant mechanics work, and that the lower the fucking peasant count, the like peasants create it faster, right? So that basically can like play into like one thing. If you're getting invaded and all of your units are dead, you can get your units from your like peasant houses and pump them into your like production facilities quick and pump out an army really, really quickly. So it can rubber band you back. So it induces this like importance of constantly fighting at low fucking like skirmish levels. On top of this, the yin yang mechanic basically means that if you fight further away from your base and do more attacking, you get these yin and yang points, but depending on whether you're a good faction or an evil faction, right? This is not fucking explained. Neither in the tutorial or in the campaign from what I can fucking see. And this should have been explained very fucking early. Maybe it is, but I don't want to play the campaign because it is an unbalanced, non-tested fucking excuse as well. Okay. Take a step back. Take a step back. Calm down. Yeah. So, yin and yang basically forces you to attack away from your base. So basically, don't defend, go out and fucking fight. Also, apparently, there are fucking units in the game called Zen Masters, which I did know, that basically, if the higher your Zen is, whether yin or yang, they get bonus damage. Do you know how you're supposed to figure this out? Here. At the buildings where your units train, yin and yang can be used to further your understanding of fighting disciplines. Perhaps improve metalworking techniques for forging blades or a mental technique for focusing chi. Likewise, your clan's Zen masters have the ability to draw on the clan's yin or yang energy to become more powerful. From what I can see, this is the only fucking location that this has it, outside of you just fucking Googling it. Do you see why I'm angry? The game has such a cool fucking mechanic that binds the gameplay together so well, and the current developers are too fucking incompetent to even put in a couple of fucking sentences, or at the very least, have this guide in the fucking game. What? Is there like a copyright that they're not allowed to put the fucking guide to the game that they're fucking remastering into the game? Like, there is no excuse for this shit. What the fuck? You're like, yeah, just Google it. That's not the fucking point. If I basically had someone else from a YouTube channel to explain everything that I needed to fucking understand about this game, who the fuck needs a tutorial? Just open up YouTube or Google and fucking type how to fucking win this game. That's not the point. This is the developer's job. Holy shit. Anyways, continuing. Spread of breadth of units is really cool. I kind of went into it. Like, unit skills and unit types and the variety and how they combine and synergize together is really, really cool. Upgrade trees and all this sort of stuff is great. This comes down, another thing that I'm actually really fucking frustrated about, this game does nothing to fucking explain to you how you can get what. I was playing through the campaign expecting them to explain to me like what sort of new units I could get. By the like end of like the midway of the campaign for Kenji, I was like, what units can I build? I don't know. So by the time I got like the third, like the fourth unit, which is like the fucking fire rocket dude, I just didn't know like what else I could build. Here's the thing. The game never tells you this, but you can press T and it opens up a fucking guide that shows you this shit, which will help you understand what the fuck you can build. Can you see how lazy this is? Not to mention that the campaign does not do a fucking good job explaining any of this, nor does a fucking tutorial, for fuck's sake. But they add this shit in, and they don't even fucking tell you it's in the game. Like, I'm angry because this game is so fucking good and the developers are so fucking incompetent that they don't even want to show the world how great their game is. They have to put so much dumb fucking idea. Oh my god. Anyways, we're fucking continuing this freight train of a fucking excuse. Okay. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's another one. So the common fucking thing when you're playing these types of games, right, is that when you like in StarCraft, getting multiple battle cruisers and multiple like carriers in Warcraft, getting all T3 units, that's the way to win the game, right? This game is really cool because the upgrades actually make tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and because of the paper scissors rock mechanic of like 6 different sort of attack types and weaknesses and effectiveness, makes every single tier of units really important, and actually understanding like the balance of what units you need at any point in time really fucking great. I actually I want to playtest this more, and it's been so long since I played like an RTS game where I'm like, how do you make this balance? Like the fact that this came out in 2001 and there is still a fucking active like somewhat competitive scene, there is a good reason for it. I've watched some of the competitive games. Some of the strategies are absolutely nuts. This game is exciting. If I knew about this game when I was a fucking teenager, bro, I would have totally jumped into the competitive scene. Why is all of it hidden? Why do you have to look shit up? That's just so lazy. 3 years of development in early access and still... I'm repeating myself. Like, the stamina mechanic, like, actually leads to a really, really interesting situation where I actually saw a guy basically, like, put out musketeers in different locations. And every single time a unit would come up to him, he would like stamina run backwards while the other musketeers are constantly firing. But normally like hop in and like skipping or like stutter stepping back your units is like pretty like easy, right? With the stamina mechanic, it actually becomes a thing where you can't constantly stutter step. You see what I mean by the stamina mechanic is actually a really fucking interesting mechanic, because then it basically puts a bit of a hamper on how much range units can just be bullshit. I love this. This is such a cool solution to the stutter stepping all range units are busted as fuck like problem. Also, having multiple peasants being able to quick build something, I don't know. I would have to check this, but they have this in this game. I don't know if Civ or anyone else did it, because I know for a fact that the first time I encountered in a Blizzard game them doing it was StarCraft 2, with characters like Menx or like the SCV upgrade. But that was the fact that they have this mechanic in this game. That's such a good choice between the peasants are so like the strategic choice between, hey, the peasant, do you send it to rice? Do you send it to like water? Do you send it more to build this building facility quicker, or do I send it to start creating like certain types of units? Like the 4 fucking choices that you can have with like a worker is actually one of the most diverse and unique ways that I've ever seen a worker unit being utilized. Fucking loved it. Also, games like Civ or like any other like RTS games that requires a third fucking resource, they just collect it, done. This game is interesting because you actually have to get your units to go out and collect the horse, tame it, and there's unique animations for it too, where they can get kicked and they're like, oh, and they'd be dazed, and then you stand back up and then go, like, there's so much love in this game. And they drag the fucking horse back to the thing, and you know, in this moment, you can get different units to kill your worker and then steal their horses. So there will be like a certain amount of like roaming horses around the map, and you can utilize that in a like cool way. And then each faction utilizes the like horses in a unique manner. I don't know how the Lotus clan uses it yet, but the Wolf clan basically you put like a dude in there, and then he basically becomes a beast master and controls 3 wolves. Super cool. And the other 2 factions like Dragon and like Serpent, basically you basically get an extra HP buff. But the thing is that there's cool mechanics where other like units can basically scare your horses so you fall off the horse, which means that other players can actually steal your horse mid battle. I have heard that like the developers were trying to like patch that out, but they're really incompetent, so they couldn't do it, so they just left it in the game. But that's really cool. Like that's so fucking cool. Also, I didn't know this until like later. There's 6 types of fucking like attack types, right? There's fire, right? And fire, if your buildings are on fire because like units set shit on fire, you can't produce it at that building until one of the workers gets a bucket of water and fucking pours it on it. How cool is that? Also, I didn't know this because it was just explained, like somebody in a YouTube video explained this, and I don't know where the fuck I was supposed to find this information in either in the guide or in the fucking game, but multiple units that have more fire damage. So if instead of like if one unit starts the fire, slow. If it's like 3 to 4 units with fire attacks constantly attack something, it gets on fire really fucking quickly, and you need more like buckets of water to fucking put it out. Can you like I know like no one cares, no one wants to live, like no one. This is more for like down the line when someone like I publish a game and people want to find shit to fucking cancel me with. That's when people are going to be maybe watching this. Can you see what I mean? This game has so much love and thought and care into it. And it's like they have a fucking gold mine and then they basically cave the entrance and then you're like, oh, well, it's not our fault that people don't realize it's a fucking gold. It's so... It hurts on a metaphysical level. How cool some of these mechanics are and how well thought out they are and how much of it's not explained. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna like I've already kind of touched on some of the shit, but I'm like I talked about some of the good. This might be a 50 fucking minute rant. I don't fucking care. Okay. The tutorial, I never play tutorials. I mean, in general, they suck. This actually might be the worst fucking tutorial I've ever played in my life. When I say they literally got fucking basic text up on the top and then you're not allowed to fucking do anything, not skip dialogue, not move your mouse, not interact with anything, just look at fucking text that comes at the top. Full, you separate it and it tells you about economics, how to use. Oh my god. And halfway through you do it, then it's like, oh, we're going to take away control from the player. and then give it back, and then take it away, and then give it back, with no options to fucking skip. Not to mention when shit builds, it just builds. And you literally can't do anything until it just finishes building. There's just so much dumb shit. Like in 2001, fair. 2019, especially when you're remaking the game, bro. Like when you're like, when in a YouTube video, the first 14 seconds is when, hey, do I tap out? Is when, like, if you can't get my retention within the first couple of 14 seconds, you fucking tap out. That's how Mr. Beast basically got his channel to be so big, because he understands that fucking principle. Same thing with any sort of fucking video game. If you can't gain my retention, I know that a lot of people will probably be like, nostalgia kept them in this game, or they're a huge RTS fan that's gone being so fucking starved of content like me that they just stuck through it. Most people would be like, fuck off. Nah, fucking, yeah, no, whatever. This is what pisses me off. The tutorial should be done well, or at least the campaign should be fucking done well. Because in RTSs, only 5% of the user base usually stays back to play skirmishes competitively. 95% apparently of most people that enjoy RTS play the campaign and fuck off. I played hard. I'm not going to go into too much detail, because after a while I realized this game is torture. They did not balance any of the campaign. I don't know what the 2001 version is like, but the 2019 version is absolutely dog shit. And I have a very strong sensation that there is a difficulty scaling in the game. Normal, like easy, normal, hard. If you change it mid-game, it doesn't actually change the difficulty. Like, I played this game for like 14 hours and then went back to try to play like one of the normal missions. It's borderline unplayable because of how quickly fucking units will just come in and kill you. This is not me tooting my horn. I've played a lot of RTSs. Most of the time I will play everything on brutal and still be fine. This is the first time that I've encountered such difficulty. When I explained, it's not even difficult, it's just tedium. And it's not fun, and it's terribly fucking designed. There's this thing where you're the Dragon Clan, being good, and fucking fighting the Lotus Clan. Now, you have to kill all the buildings and kill all the units. Once again, all RTSs do this, but this one's particularly egregious. Units get a huge HP buff. Units also get a huge fucking attack buff. These two things I don't know, but I can pretty much fucking like presume this based off how fucking fast I die. These watchtowers, all watchtowers, have this innate ability to CC stun your fucking units. So when you don't have the full fucking roster to actually take down these fucking things like cannoneers or things that do explosive damage or bonus damage to fucking things, and you just have to use units that do no fucking damage to these fucking things, and they just fucking destroy your entire fucking army, it just tells you one thing: I have to make more. Once again, goes against the entire fucking point of the game's principles. You wait longer. You more present, peasant counts you have, the longer it takes for you to build an army, no matter what the fuck you do. So what you wind up happening in these campaigns, you just wait and defend until you have a big enough army, and then push out, and then immediately get it fucking annihilated. Now, if you persevere like I did, you eventually get to this point where you systematically, slowly fucking destroy everything. And at least the developers knew that the AI shouldn't rebuild certain types of structures. But AI build speed and production speed is like, what, 5 to 10 times fucking faster than the player at this point? So to kind of explain what that means, I'll have a group of 8-9 archers, upgraded fully, trying to snipe down one worker unit, and he just runs past. Because I like this. If the arrow like object fucking misses the unit, won't hit, but you can't really control that much, or to the best of my fucking agility. So this worker will just kind of dodge, weave, get half HP off with 9 fucking archers shooting it, which I'll say is fucking stupid. And then I'll start building its farm. The farm, or like the peasant house that produces the peasants, okay? It'll build it in 2-3 seconds. Try to fucking kill the peasant. No, it doesn't kill it in time. Peasant finishes building the peasant house. And then this peasant house starts pumping out 4 to 5 fucking peasants. And guess what they do? They start running around, building more fucking farms. And then guess what? This snowballs. They start building more. And they start rebuilding their base. While you can't do enough fucking damage to kill. Do you understand? This is not fun. This is just bad. Just bad. No one tested this. Or if you did, they're a fucking idiot or you didn't listen to the playtesters. What the fuck? I tried to play the next mission on normal. That's when I encountered. You probably can't switch it. Or normal mode is just fucking busted. Hey, actually, at this point, if people want to just say, you're fucking shit at the game, I'll take it. I actually will take it. I will also stand that this game, the balancing and the camping is absolutely dog shit. Because when I played the skirmish mode, I had no problems. I played on normal and slightly less, and I can fucking prove a point and probably amp it up, and within 2-3 matches, I can fucking beat the hard AI. Because I now figured out how the gameplay works. Still, going back onto the campaign, in the middle of the fucking campaign, on normal, for that difficulty scale to be that high, do you ever want your players to fucking finish this shit? I know for a fucking fact, I'm willing to bet money that all the motherfuckers that reviewed this game played this fucker on easy. Or modded some shit. Because they would not fucking play this on normal or hard unless they have played this game a fuck ton and love it and just wanted the challenge. Challenge that is not fun. Challenge that has not been balanced. Challenge that not have been tested or given two flying fucks about. And the reason why I'm pissed off is once again, the campaign, the story, the unit designs, the world, all of it's great. They did all the hard shit. And then after 3 years, did fucking nothing to fix the easy shit. I've coded for a fair while. I've been working on my own games. I know how difficult game dev is. Most of this shit should not be difficult in the way it is. I know net coding and shit like that and changing so all the variables sending correctly is hard. This is lazy. This is just lazy and negligence and they don't fucking care. This is clearly being done by people that don't actually care about this game because they don't actually care about the presentation. Going on the fucking channel of like how badly represented most of the information is. UI, once again, absolute dog shit. You have to hover over certain abilities to be able to understand whether or not this thing has a hotkey or not. Certain things apparently have hotkeys. Peasants building fucking buildings? No hotkeys. You have to manually fucking click it. That shit's okay for 2001. This is 2022. You brought this game out in 2019, guys. I don't know how the fuck you've handled the entities, but for fuck's sakes, the fact that everything doesn't have somewhat of a hotkey and the UI doesn't show what the hotkey is stupid. And you'll why are you so fucking pissed off? You'll understand when I start talking about the fucking unit pathing. Because you will need the fucking hotkeys for this shit to fucking be playable. Okay, once again, none of this fucking shit explained in the tutorial. None of this fucking shit explained fucking anywhere outside of going onto forums, online, the community fucking explaining this shit to you. Or maybe in the guideline if you fucking go through 80 fucking pages of this shit. Unexcusable. No fucking excuse. Stupid as motherfuck. Okay, unit controls. I get this game came out before Warcraft, but I think this game came out after fucking StarCraft. StarCraft had 12 fucking units that you can see. You can individually kill a unit, fucking do storm or mind control or whatever. This game will basically have 4 units here and then 4 units here. And guess what? Not an ability to tab through the fucking screen. You have to individually click a fucking arrow here to go to the next screen of fucking units. Where some of them also have fucking abilities. Later down the line, I was fucking going down the fucking YouTube depth hole. Well, I don't know. And someone said pressing B means you can basically activate all fucking skills that are toggleable. Why did anyone fucking do it? Why would no one? Why wouldn't the devs fucking explain this simple as fucking thing? Or add anywhere that fucking exists? Not to mention certain fucking abilities are targeted, so you... Anyways, moving on, because some of these things will be explained as we fucking go along. That's so fucking stupid. Like the fact that you have to fucking go down into the UI and click while you're fucking fighting to individual click and go. Like, StarCraft 1 is micro intensive. This shit is on a whole different fucking level. I actually think that those pro players that play this game at the highest level, I fucking give props. Because this shit is as difficult as StarCraft 1 and more fucking wild as fucking Warcraft 3. Holy motherfuck. Yeah, just, okay. Not to mention most skills you can't halt times. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, whatever. Oh, yeah. There's no descriptions of fucking tooltips. You can't. I don't know what the damage values or the HP values or any of these fucking units are. Okay, one more fucking second. So, this shit is like fucking Bethesda fucking level jank. I don't know if the developers made this, but I'm willing to bet good fucking money that this is not the develop. This is the fucking... Or maybe the developers did do this. This is where it fucking exists. Here. Where they explain damage values. And even still here, there is no fucking HP or all these sort of things that you have to manually fucking playtest. Some people will be like, no, that's pretty fun. The fact that the game doesn't have any fucking inbuilt features to explain shit like this. Tooltips even. You know what? Fuck it. I'm fucking showing people this. Because, like, I'm like, holy fuck. I love this game. And I also really hate how terribly managed this game is. Fuck. Do I have a fucking saved game somewhere? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Look. Oh, another thing. Do you think that this means idle worker? Like, you have to hover over it, right? When I was playing this game, people might say you're a fucking idiot. This does not immediately signal to me that this is an idle worker. If there was like an F1 button or F2 button like in StarCraft 2, I'd be like, oh. Not to mention, it doesn't necessarily fucking... Maybe it did fucking explain it in tutorial, but I was like zoning out how, like, fast, but how dumb that shit was. Okay, cool. What does the shrine do? Cool. Shrine. Can you explain to me what the fucking shrine does? I don't fucking know. Let's look at the fuck. Oh my god. Fucking map controls are also dog shit, but that's a different story. What does the shrine do? Cool. Oh, apparently I just fucking won the campaign. Fuck, whatever. This is not the point. That's not the point. Fuck. Nope. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it either. Also, there is no autosave feature, so you can't continue. You have to manually save, then load. 2019 to 2022, guys. Oh, like, just that's just gross. Like, the fact that you didn't put a like basic fucking RTS feature like that, it's absolutely fucking disgusting. Oh, he dies. That's what's happening. Gotcha. Cool. We'll let him rebuild. Let's put him over here.
And I'll follow.
I also scaled the fucking game speed because I was getting bored. But yeah. No description of fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck. What does the fuck he do? What is his stats? I don't fucking know. What does he do? I don't fucking know. None of this shit is fucking okay. Cool. Allows units to guard an area best suited for missile units. So you can just have a melee fucking unit there. Not to mention, certain. I didn't fucking know that this dude had a range attack. How do you toggle it? Guess what? You can't toggle them between melee and fucking normal mode. And like melee and fucking ranged mode. This shit does have a fucking tooltip. This explains some shit. How much damage can he take? Like, do you understand like the inconsistency of certain times it'll explain shit and certain times it'll do fucking absolutely nothing to fucking explain shit at all? Oh, fucking again. God damn it. Not even like me trying to make a point actually fucking stands. Regardless, you kind of get the point, right? There's no tooltips to fucking explain shit most of the time. These fucking values, the 100 to 25, how effective it is and non-effective it is, not explained at all. Why isn't it fucking explained? Like, look, I don't want to constantly compare, but like in StarCraft 1, 2, and like fucking like Warcraft and nearly any other fucking thing, I can hover over a fucking icon and it says does this much damage, receives this much less damage from this, and the people that really want to fucking dig into the game can look at that. This shit should exist in the fucking game. I shouldn't be looking at this stuff. I shouldn't be actively looking at the forums. Like, if I want to, like... I love games. But this shit just fucking frustrates me so much because it's such a good game. It's got so many cool mechanics. And I know that the developers made it. But their absolute fucking disregard for presentation UI and trying to help ease players into it is one of the dumbest fucking things that I have seen. If they made a few changes, a few quality of life changes, when people think about Warcraft 3, they would have brought this up. A literal gold bar. Painted in fucking dog shit. Oh my god, units should have description on their stats. Yeah, that doesn't fucking exist. Certain things have code keys while most don't have. Yep, all ages to real orientation of buildings could be changed. Yeah, that shit's not fucking explained either. Apparently you can change the orientation of the building. Why this is important is because unit, we'll go into this soon, but units take a fucking long while to fucking, and the unit pathing is absolutely dog shit. So, let's say that if you want to create like, let's say that this is split, right? And the entranceway is here and the entranceway is here, right? So once a unit build comes in here, build comes out, it's got to go here to go into the next building, right? You can change the orientation so unit comes out here, comes in here. Or if there's two buildings like this, unit comes out here, goes directly to here. Like, the orientation actually really matters when you want to pump out fucking units fast. Once again, not fucking explained. Or maybe if it is, like, I don't know, the tutorial is so fucking dog shit that, like, once again, there's no fucking tooltips to explain this shit either. You see that it's the same fucking theme over and over again. Just one ginormous fucking Herculean oversight on the entire presentation of the UI. Holy shit. Anyways. Oh yeah, the game's buggy as fuck. Certain things will just not load. Fucking tile sets won't fucking load. If you build a fucking horse thing on top of a, like, at the edge of a fucking mountain, and you say, unit, go in and fucking get onto the fucking horse, the horse will spawn onto the lower ground. So your unit will, like, go down the hill, onto the horse, and back. Pez mechanics where they spawn quicker strongly puts an emphasis on fighting at low food costs, but a lot of the other mechanics makes this a terrible strategy. Yes. This is not actually something I want to talk about. Units move terribly slow unless you are running. So what you would have to do is either run to the outside of enemy bases, then rest before you go in, or just bum rush with weakened units, which both isn't really fun or great. Yeah. So basically the game with the peasant mechanics telling you, rush. Cool. So I try to rush. And then you're slowed. And you're like, okay, so now I have to rest before I rush. So I do that. I rest. So now the opponent has an opportunity to fucking build an army while I'm resting. And then we fight. And my, like I don't know what's the word. My bonus, my surprise attack is now no longer a surprise attack. And now, if the fight goes on for an extended period of time, I'm losing units. He's producing units. They're at full fucking stamina. And now I have to produce my units from home and make them run over because they walk fucking slow. Running is not twice as fast. It's like 4 to 5 times faster than the fucking base movement speed. It just basically says, no, don't rush. Actually, no. It basically means that there's a different fucking strategy that you probably have to implement, which means it's like StarCraft 2 or StarCraft 1, where you build your gateways or your barracks right outside of the enemy fucking base so that you can reinforce your fucking units very quickly. But in this, it's mandatory. It's fucking mandatory because of the goddamn stamina mechanic that is absolutely being abused for the incorrect fucking reasons. And I was curious. I wanted to test my theory. Is this the best strategy? Lo and fucking behold, the first 3 fucking like pro games that I've seen, exactly that strategy. They fucking run their workers over to the other fucking side of the map, build a hut, build the production facilities, close off the other peasant house so that this peasant house is right next to the fucking base, can start pumping fucking units into the fucking offensive like dojos and all this sort of shit so they can get units and start attacking and offensively use tower mechanics. When I say this game wasn't balanced or like this game was thought out well, like some of the mechanics were really thought out well, but they just really fucking dropped the ball on certain things and never fucking bothered to fix it or even give a shit. I was looking at a lot of people like talking like on stream and off stream about how people were frustrated about things, and the developers just didn't give a shit or like, nah, you're just wrong, and they walked off. It's the entire thing where like Blizzard with like WoW, and they're like, can't we have this? And the guys are like, I know you want it, but you don't want it because you don't know what you want because you're too stupid. So once again, fucking insulting the fucking player base. The player base that basically stayed with these guys for like fucking clumps of like 3 to 4 to 5 years. They got burnt out about how fucking dumb this shit is. Have you seen Warcraft 3, StarCraft to StarCraft 2 fucking professional scenes? Or even Age of Mythology or certain, I can't think of certain things, like Age of Empire. Like, those fucking communities stay for years. Like, years. I do not blame any person that, like, played this professionally, got burnt out by how fucking buggy and how dumb and how none of the developers want to actually fix some of the major fucking problems and fix problems that don't even fucking exist. Or like none of the players want to fucking fix. Because that's like the players that played this game for years, every day. Give them some fucking respect. You shit on their game like that they've loved so much, and then they oh my god, just holy fuck. Game puts emphasis on rushing and fighting, but also makes it a bad strategy as well, which makes the player decide to create a bigger army and win in one go, which then slows the game down to a grind. This is more for an AI or like single player fucking experience, but that's exactly what I came to the conclusion, especially on hard difficulties. Once again, not bad. A lot of these problems are kind of accumulative. It's not like one thing is causing this problem. It's like 4 or 5 things are causing this one ginormous fucking clusterfuck. That there's no direct fucking fix unless the developers spend a lot of fucking time combing through these things and try to fix it. Some people come up to me and be like, no, this ain't a problem. This is fucking design is fucking intended. No, you're fucking dumb. This is definitely not intended. This was a huge fucking oversight and a continuous fucking oversight. And at this stage, an active choice just make this game bad for no fucking reason. Okay. It's time. Oh, that's another thing. This is another thing that fucking just immensely fucking pissed me off. If you have a group of fucking units and they're all fucking running, and one unit runs out of fucking stamina, the logical fucking choice would be to the one unit to stop running and the rest to run. Do you know what happens? All of them stop running. And because the UI is so fucking cluttered, and because you have to constantly like control and like look at all the units because you can't have a toggle mechanic to look at all of the fucking HP bars and stuff like that, which most games give you the fucking option to in RTSs, because looking at what's damaged and what's not and clicking individually, like Anyway, you have to like you're fighting and then you're looking back. Where the fuck's my army? Why? And then you're looking them crawling across and you're like, what the fuck? And then you're trying to quickly like look at which unit doesn't have fucking stamina because all the bars are fucking overlapping. And then you're like, fuck it. So you control drag a couple of them, run. Control drag a couple of them, run. Do that shit, and then halfway through you're like, oh, this group is now fucking not running. So you mean that the option for me to get my fucking army across the fucking map is to individually click every single one of them, double tap or alt click to make them run? Did you fucking play test this shit? Have you played an RTS in your fucking life? Motherfuckers. I will say, at the beginning I thought that the AI, like the unit pathing was worse than a Protoss Dragoon. That's kind of a lie. Protoss Dragoon is still absolutely fucking way worse in terms of fucking like unit pathing. But it auto calculates and reroutes. The accumulation of how the stamina mechanic fucking works, how desynced the fucking units are, like how bad the UI and fucking tooltips are to fucking understand what's going on at any point in the time, how the control groups and shit like that, how the fucking hotkeys are being utilized at any point in time, because they're so fucking terrible, the control of the units is so bad. The only reason why the professional players, they're playing at a fucking brood world level fucking efficiency of individually clicking all of the fucking units and moving them across. You can't exploit the primary player base to fucking do that shit. And anyone else, I know the 95% other that just like playing the campaign, probably play on easy and just don't even fucking notice or give a shit. And half of them probably occasionally will be like, click usability. There's no in between. You either start having to be a fucking gamer StarCraft god, or just play on baby mode and just occasionally just ignore the existence of fucking abilities or like stamina and just walk your shit around because you just don't have the fucking skill and ability. Not to mention no hotkey, so you have to fucking click shit to activate. Talked about the campaign. This fits. This fits. I've talked about this for like an hour. This was not cohesive. That's why it's not a review. Like I want to kind of call this series Rambling Rants, or I want to talk about this, but I think I want to talk about this is the most thing. I really want to say I like this game. I can only say I like skirmish mode with the added bonus of a huge entire fucking guideline on the side on a different fucking like screen. The campaign is dog shit, literally unplayable. And I'm angry because the developers both really had, I don't know, like I probably have to look it up before I did this, but I don't fucking give a shit anymore. Whether the development team for 2001 and 2019 are different or the same, I vaguely think that the creator from 2001 is on the same team in 2019. I think he just basically wanted to like revamp it so that he can get a little bit more money, which to be fair game. But if you care so little about your actual product, I can't respect you as a developer. Like the shit in this game is so good. So much love put into the variety and the uniqueness of the units, the factions, the abilities, how the paper scissors. It's not even paper scissors rock. It's just a unique coagulation. This game doesn't have the death ball problem. Do you know how big that is? They basically solved a fucking problem like that I have seen in every single RTS, the death ball problem. They have solved it here. But all the easy shit as to like teaching the players how these fucking mechanics work. Like with the stamina shit. If like your units are like struggling, because it's so unintuitive, you have to double click or right click instead of one click. Or like alt like click, and once again no tooltips or no hotkeys or no showing that. If you like even the guard N, which basically means units will stop in position on only fire, which is not really obvious to make, like, to teach the player. You should have a mission. Have your melee units fight, and then have your, like, you know, your ranged units press N. And when they do that, they will stay in position and not fucking round into the fucking melee fight and just immediately die. Have fucking hotkeys or something like that, tooltips to switch units from being ranged to melee, or flex, depending on what unit commands that they have. Or what's the other shit that they got in this game? G follow unit, which I didn't really fucking understand what that fucking meant, because I thought that it protects, like, doesn't really explain. It just attach onto fucking building. So it'll protect the building, or protect the location, or attach to a unit and follow it. Whether or not it triggers fucking abilities, half the time I don't fucking know, because the UI and the unit control is so fucking dog shit, I don't fucking know. And 0 basically means be passive until attacked. So basically, you can basically make your units like your melee units be offensive, I don't know, fuck. I'm actually burnt out. I haven't been this passionate and angry about something in a long while. It's just so sad. No, I know no one wants to watch this, but if anything, if anyone wants to take a deep dive on what sort of person I am, this is it. I love games. I really love games, and I especially love RTSs. And I know that the developers made this game with a lot of love, but the absolute lack of care of handling of presentation and wanting to express and share this to players is disgusting. It actually hurts me to see so much work just burn in a pile of dog shit. Because even after a remake in 3 fucking years, they refused to even change. I'm pretty sure if I played the original version, none of this would have changed. They put no effort at all to change it. And they can come at and fucking thrash me or bash me if they ever see this video eventually, but I'll fucking fight them. I'll fire. I will argue point, tooth, and nail that you've got a great thing. Give me the fucking rights to this game and I will reforge it into a beautiful masterpiece. There is so much shit. It might be difficult, but there is so much stuff that you can do to make this game a masterpiece. You got all the components, guys. I'm like a broken record. It just frustrates me so much how you can have so much good and just fail at the finish. Anyways, this is gonna be the end of the first episode. I want to talk about this, and if this doesn't explain what this entire fucking series is about, I don't know what is. I dedicated like plus 20 fucking hours of my life to this fucking video to explain how frustrated I am about this. Is there any point? Nope. But it's kind of therapeutic. On that note, to anyone in the future that bothered to watch this, hi. I hope I actually made a decent ass game. And if not, because you're here to try to cancel me, sup. See you on Twitter.